Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to TK's Geek Room. This episode, we are going to look at our first Savage Crucible figure. In this case, it is the Shield of Bizarra. Wanted to give one a try. I have not even held one before. I got some Mythic Legions, and to be honest, nothing against them. They're fantastic looking figures. They're well sculpted. They're very well painted. The difference is I think Mythic Legions are great for collectors that just kind of line figures on their shelves in groups or armies or whatnot. But in my collection, I focus more on small dioramas and kind of world building. And Mythic Legions, the articulation's not dynamic enough. And I had somebody tell me that I should give these guys a try because they have very similar deco and sculpt work, but much better articulation. So let's give it a shot. All right, we free him from his prison that nobody wanted to hear the noise for. And I first impression, he is very well painted. I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but there's almost like a metallic sheen across his scales that looks really good. The different layers of his paint app there in the scales just looks amazing. We've got a scabbard that's connected to his belt. Go ahead and slide the sword into that. Fits just fine. The overlays are not loose, but what they fit well. It's very nice to have. He does come with a soft goods cloak. I'm probably not gonna mess with that on camera. We have an extra set of open clawed hands. We have two different lizard heads, with one with a hood and one with a hood wide open. They're both pretty cool. And then his just regular lizard head. And then he's also got this little, I don't know, water bottle or some sort. I'm sure it's not a water bottle. I'll have to read the story. Probably something about it. Hook's on here somewhere. It doesn't really have a handle. It looks like it goes into a peg or something that I'm probably not seeing right off. That's all right. We'll get to play with it afterwards. Here's what I will say. I did heat him up before I started the video back up because he was very, very tight. I live in Nashville and it's probably about 50 degrees outside, so that might have something to do with it. But better safe than sorry, especially with being my first one. Head articulation looks down pretty good distance. Not a whole lot of upward momentum, which, kind of sucks, but whatever. This is a slightly older figure too, so maybe I think it's from last year, so they may have changed some of the more modern. I do not see a butterfly in there. Oh yeah, he's got one in the back, so okay. And that's actually a really good range of motion because that means that he can hold a sword in front of him. Go figure. Or a gun. I don't see a lizard man holding a gun, but you know. The elbow articulation is pretty good. I also like the look of the elbows. Like you don't see the joint. Like it's just molded. It looks really nice. You've got, he can lean back pretty good ways, but there's quite a bit of gap there if you go back that far. The front or the bottom waist ball joint is pretty good too. You get a little good movement out of there. Doesn't move as much, but it does move around. Plenty of room to play around with it. Go a little upskirt there on him. He does not have drop down hips, but he does have pretty decent range, I guess, for not having drop down hips. It goes up about that far. Doesn't go super high forward or backwards, but you do have those double joints in the knee. Both of them. Again, the knees were what was what caused me to get the heat gun out, because they were super tight. Looks good. And this is a cool thing too. Like, I don't necessarily like the Mythic Legion's tails because they always seem to pop off for me. This one seems to be in there pretty good. And not only is it bendy wire, but it's also articulated, or maybe it's not bendy wire, maybe it's just articulated. But it's cool that it's got some posability to it. It also has really good paint apps on it. The feet on first look are a little weird. I mean, it's probably what a lizard man feet would look like, and I was worried that he wouldn't be able to stand very well. And I believe that was an issue early on, but he does stand pretty good. Again, you can keep playing with him, probably. There's not a shin cut, or, I mean, there's not a thigh swivel in there, and there's not a boot swivel. We don't have rockers, but we do have, yeah. So the legs could probably use a little bit more articulation points for really good posability, but I feel like they're definitely more posable than the competition in this case, being Mythic Legions. I'm going to mess around with it off camera in a little bit here, but I would also guarantee that, I seem to guarantee that the weapons and stuff are probably pretty interchangeable between Mythic Legions and Savage Crucible. In this case, you can see the tails holding him up here, but sorry. The only other thing I want to talk about in this video is the blind bag. Let's see what we got today. So every Savage Crucible comes with a blind bag, and in this case, we got a translucent green and yellow scimitar sword. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Very cool. It's got a little bit of flex to it, but it's not super brittle. It's not super flimsy. Some of our domestic mass-produced toy lines. And I'll end on this. This card was in the box with the delivery for Titan Toy Expo, which happens in October. Last year was the first year of it, I believe. I did go to it. Smaller venue, but a little over 20,000 square foot, but it was very well populated and lots of good people walking around. It was a good spread of vintage and modern independent toys as well. I was pretty happy with the con, especially for being right in my backyard last year. Look forward to it again this year. Again, both Savage Crucible and Action Force will be there. Action Force, certainly one of my most favorite lines right now, and I can see Savage Crucible filling a gap, and some of these lizard men filling in for some snake men in Motu. It's pretty cool. So we'll be going to that. If you're going, maybe I get to see you there this year. If you have any questions about what I experienced here, feel free to put it in the comments. Let me know. Like, subscribe, all that good jazz, so we can keep doing this more and more. And we'll kind of see where it goes. But right now I'm just enjoying trying some new toys and seeing how they go. Kind of getting away from the old tried and true kind of military action figures and trying to get more into superhero, a little bit of superhero stuff, but really more into the sword and sorcery. Fill out some of that love in my life. All right, well, I appreciate you guys joining me today, and have fun with your toys, boys. Till the next time.